Arjun had always believed that life was not just about earning money or achieving success. To him, the most valuable thing a person could have was character. Ever since he was a child, his father had repeated the same sentence over and over again. "Arjun," his father would say gently, "your character is your greatest wealth. Money can come and go, but once you lose your character, it's very difficult to earn it back." As a young boy, Arjun didn't fully understand those words. They sounded important, but life hadn't yet tested him. Years passed. Arjun grew up to become a hard-working and honest man. He lived a simple life, worked a regular job, and tried to do the right thing whenever possible. But like everyone else, he also had struggles. There were days when money was tight. There were moments when he wondered if honesty really mattered in a world where so many people seemed to succeed by cutting corners. Still, he held on to the lessons his father had taught him. One evening after finishing work, Arjun was walking home along a quiet road. The sun was beginning to set, and the streetlights had just started flickering on. The road was mostly empty. As he walked, something caught his attention. Lying near the side of the road was a wallet. Arjun stopped. He looked around, but there was no one nearby. Curious, he picked it up. The wallet felt unusually heavy. Slowly, he opened it. Inside were several bundles of cash. A lot of cash. Far more money than Arjun had ever carried in his own wallet. His heart immediately began to race. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Then a quiet voice inside his head whispered, "No one is watching." Arjun looked around again. The street was empty. The voice continued, "You could keep it." Another thought followed quickly. "With this money, you could pay your bills. You could make your life easier. Maybe even help your family." The temptation was real. Very real. For a few seconds, Arjun just stood there holding the wallet, staring at the money. His mind began imagining all the things this money could solve. But suddenly another voice appeared inside his mind. This one was softer, calmer. "That money belongs to someone." Arjun took a deep breath. The two thoughts began fighting inside his mind. One voice said, "No one will ever know." The other said, "But you will know." One voice said, "Think about how much this could help you." The other replied, "Think about the person who lost it." Arjun stood there silently on the roadside, feeling the weight of the decision in his hands. In that moment he remembered his father's face. He remembered those words he had heard so many times growing up. "Your character is your greatest wealth." Arjun slowly closed the wallet. His heart was still beating fast. Then he turned around and started walking in the opposite direction. Not toward home, but toward the nearby police station. When he arrived, he handed the wallet to the officer at the desk and explained where he had found it. The officer looked surprised. "Most people wouldn't bring this back," he said. Arjun simply smiled and shrugged. "It wasn't mine." That night, Arjun went home and thought nothing more about it. To him, it was just the right thing to do. But the next day, something unexpected happened. Arjun received a phone call from the police station asking him to come in. Confused but curious, he agreed. When he arrived, a well-dressed man was waiting there. The man looked relieved the moment he saw Arjun. The officer introduced them. "This is the man who returned your wallet." The businessman immediately stepped forward and shook Arjun's hand firmly. "You have no idea how grateful I am," the man said. "That wallet contained important documents and a large amount of money." Arjun nodded politely. "I'm glad it got back to you." The businessman looked at him carefully. "You know," he said, "you could have kept everything. No one would have known." Arjun smiled gently. "My father taught me something important." The man raised an eyebrow. "What was that?" Arjun replied calmly. "A single wrong decision can destroy a lifetime of honesty." For a moment, the businessman said nothing. Then he nodded slowly. "You're right." They spoke for a few more minutes before parting ways. Arjun walked out of the station and continued his normal life. Days passed, then weeks. Arjun had almost forgotten about the incident, until one afternoon he received another call. It was from the same businessman. He asked Arjun to meet him at his office. Curious, Arjun agreed. When he arrived, the businessman greeted him warmly. "I've been thinking about our conversation," the man said. "In business, it's very difficult to find people you can truly trust." He paused for a moment. "Someone who returns a wallet full of money without hesitation is someone I want on my team." Then he slid a document across the desk. It was a job offer, a much better opportunity than the one Arjun currently had. Arjun looked at the paper in surprise. "You're offering me a job?" The businessman smiled. "Yes. Because skills can be taught," he continued, "but honesty is rare." Arjun felt a deep sense of gratitude, not just for the opportunity, but for the lesson life had just confirmed. Sometimes honesty doesn't give immediate rewards. Sometimes doing the right thing feels difficult. Sometimes no one is watching. But every decision we make shapes the person we become. And while shortcuts may bring quick gains, integrity builds something far more valuable. A future you can be proud of. Because in the end, character is the one thing that will always define who you truly are. If you enjoy the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more motivational videos.